Hello travelers! The worst part about being a tourist is all of the other tourists. Part of the fun of traveling is being able to get away and experience new cultures. When you go to see the Great Wall of China and see a KFC out front, it takes away from the experience. So, let's take a look at some amazing places around the world that haven't been overrun with tourists yet. But before we go through the list, be sure to like the video and subscribe so you won't miss any of our future travel videos. We have plenty of leisure videos on the way that you don't want to miss. Welcome to Tenzi's Travel. I'm Julia, and this is our list of the 10 most underrated countries to visit. Madagascar. If you want to visit Africa but you don't want to take a chance of being eaten by a lion, then Madagascar is the place for you. If you've seen the movie, it is just like that, except the animals don't talk or dance. And there's no penguins or lions, hippos, giraffes. Okay, it's nothing like the movie. Hailed as the biggest island in the Indian Ocean, this country in Africa hosts unique wildlife and biodiversity, with the largest animal being about the size of a golden retriever. When you visit, you will marvel at the magnificent baobab trees that are as huge as they are old, some as old as 1,000 years. You'll need to set aside a whole day to travel to Tsingy Park, which has incredible rock formations with jagged knife-like peaks. To navigate through these formations, you'll have to use a series of ropes, ladders, and bridges. Just be sure you don't look down. You can also go up close and personal with at least 4 species of lemurs on Lemur Island, so I guess that part is a bit like the movie. Mongolia. Trying to escape the hustle and bustle of the most crowded cities? Mongolia is perfect for you. It is one of the least populated countries on the planet, which means you will just enjoy the serenity and peace of the place. With just you and your thoughts, you will enjoy the breathtaking landscape Mongolia has to offer, from grassy meadows or inspiring mountains and incredible sand dunes. No wonder the country is given the moniker Land of the Blue Sky. You are a free spirit in Mongolia. Immerse yourself in their nomadic culture while relying solely on cattle and wildlife for food. Mongolians will usually welcome you in a speger, a tent made from felt and wood, so you get the full experience. And that's not all. If Africa has the Sahara Desert, Mongolia has the Gobi Desert, a place that can be particularly chilly yet comfy. It takes a while to get to it, but once there, the camel ride is exquisite, refreshing, and rejuvenating. Bolivia. If you're looking for a truly immersive experience in another country, Bolivia has got you covered. From accommodation, culture, and even tourism spots, it surely doesn't disappoint. But first, let's get one thing out of the way. Much of this South American country isn't really set up for tourism, which, in this case, is a good thing. Instead of going to a hotel, you might want to opt for homestays organized by volunteer agencies. This will allow you to share stories with Bolivia's hospitable locals, let go of the usual gourmet meals and try some of their delicacies suited for the cold climate, thus expected to be spicy. And when you happen to find yourself on the road, you'll see that they have rather odd but entertaining traffic enforcers, people wearing a zebra costume. As far as sightseeing, Bolivia has glistening lakeside villages, dusty red mountains, and diverse wildlife that consists of flamingos, condors, and pink river dolphins. It truly is a place to behold. Iran. When talking about a travel destination, Iran is usually the last place on people's minds. You have international tension to blame for that. But once you power through any doubts about visiting this Middle Eastern country, you'll be happy that you did. For starters, it is a safe place to be in. Checkpoints are there to help both locals and tourists alike, allowing everyone to enjoy what Iran has to offer. From scenic views atop the Nature Bridge to the lavish color-shifting colors in their famed pink mosque, to the extravagant facade of their Golistan Palace, there's plenty for everyone to see. You'll be taken back in history as you feast your eyes on the fascinating Persepolis in Shiraz. This archaeological site boasts huge pillars adorned with exquisite designs, And to think it was built around 518 BC. Calling the architecture in Iran impressive is an understatement. Paired with the hospitality of the locals, you're in for a pleasantly different experience. Armenia. Somewhere in Western Asia, there is a nation that perfectly combines exquisite topography, colorful history, and unique heritage. I'm referring to none other than the Republic of Armenia. For starters, if you're into old architecture, Armenia has got you covered. Many people do not know that it is the very first Christian country in the world. Thus, it boasts plenty of majestic monuments, from the enigmatic monastery of Geghard to the prison of the monastery of Khor Virap. It certainly inspires and takes you on a world you have not imagined. Pair those with a view of Mount Ararat, a mountain mentioned during the Great Flood, and it completes your travel back in time. But that's not all. Lake Sevan is a must-see if you visit Armenia. It is located so high up that the water's reflection vividly paints the sky, creating the illusion that it touches each other. It's perfect, not just for cooling down, but also for simply being mesmerized by the sight. San Marino. When you visit Italy, chances are you must have mistaken San Marino as a part of it. However, this landlocked microstate is a separate country, and one that deserves your attention. It asserts a medieval feel, one that you'll understand as soon as you visit it. San Marino is notable for its 3 magnificent towers. The first one, Guaita, looks straight out of a storybook, making it the most iconic tower. Chesta, the second tower, houses several traditional weapons, completing the knight fantasy. The last one, Montale, is a lookout post, which unfortunately is off limits. But the mystery just adds to the beauty. Apart from the towers, you can check out the State Museum of San Marino, which has a lot of historical artifacts that date back to the Neolithic period. Aside from the scenery history, you can enjoy high-quality wine at Consorzio Vini Tepici, or even try their organic ice cream at Altro Gelato. Oh, and shopping in San Marino is absolutely tax-free. Bhutan. Not a lot of countries can say they are successful against global warming. As a matter of fact, only one country can say that, and it is no other than Bhutan. Known as the last of the Himalayan kingdoms, this country has a strict policy when it comes to ensuring its natural resources are preserved. It makes sure it has at least 60% forest coverage. Thus, it is the only place in the world to have a negative carbon footprint. Because of that and its geographic location, it is home to a biodiverse flora and fauna. From red pandas to snow leopards, Bhutan has them. Speaking of location, it's pretty impressive to see any structure built amidst its seemingly dangerous cliffs, one of which is the popular Tiger's Nest Monastery. You'll need to brave through lung-bursting altitude and a rocky track to get to it, but seeing it with your own eyes is all worth it. And while it has been the face of the country to the world, it doesn't look overrun by tourists thanks to restrictions on visitor numbers. But perhaps the best thing about Bhutan is its high regard for its people's happiness. They even measure it. Now, here's a country that's truly unique. Albania. This small country on southeastern Europe's Balkan Peninsula perfectly merges progressive development with an idyllic lifestyle. In the capital of Tirana, urbanization is on the rise due to foreign investments, as well as returning entrepreneurial Albanians. At the same time, it maintains its rural culture, so much that you can still see shepherds walking with a herd of cows or sheep. If you're curious how simple yet satisfying the peaceful rural life is, try staying in one of the pension houses. You'll see how returning to the basics could be so satisfying. As far as scenery, you have plenty of options. You can try climbing the Albanian Alps, which is Instagram-worthy from any angle. Or you can head to the coast and enjoy some of the best beaches in Europe. And since this is the list of underrated countries, they are generally not as crowded as more popular beaches in countries like Spain. Belize. Speaking of amazing beaches, Belize is nothing short of a Caribbean paradise, given its many amazing scuba and snorkeling sites. One of the most popular diving sites in this wonderful country is the Great Blue Hole. It is famous among serious divers, given the fact that there's great visibility, allowing you to see the wonderful cave formations and marine wildlife. But if there's anything that can equal Belize's dive spot, it is the fact that the country is the epicenter of Mayan civilization. As such, Mayan temples are sprawling about, and the only problem you'll have is which one to pick. It surely gives you a lot of Indiana Jones feels. Philippines. While some might argue that the Philippines isn't an underrated destination, the fact that most tourists only know of the world-renowned white sand beaches of Boracay and Palawan gives it a pass in our list, especially since it has over 7,000 islands to explore. That said, island hopping should be one of the activities you should try in this Southeast Asian country. You can start with the 2 locations we mentioned a while ago, then try Bantayan Island in Cebu as well as Siargao. You'll see that not only does this archipelago host awesome beaches, but also fantastic snorkel sites, as well as surf locations. It's not just its waters that are must-see attractions. It hosts various natural wonders from the Banawe rice terraces of Ifugao, chocolate hills of Bohol, to the Mayan Volcano Natural Park. There's a lot to behold. With all those, paired with the warm hospitality of Filipinos, it is no wonder it is called the Pearl of the Orient Seas. So what do you think of these underrated countries to visit? Have you been to any of these? What other countries are underrated? Let us know in the comments below, and while there, be sure to like the video and share it with your friends who complain the most about popular destinations being too touristy. If you liked this video, you will also like these other videos. And if you have already watched these, then be sure to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any of our future travel videos. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again.